All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back to put a bow on this week here, right? And it's Friday, February 24th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Market making higher lows heading into the afternoon, but hasn't broken higher just yet. It would be nice to see a little bit of a gap fill heading into the afternoon, but great to see all of us alike here. Scott, Ron, Ravina, Leda. I haven't heard from you in a while, Leda. Great to see you. Jeff, Dan, all of us here live, though, loud and clear. Great to see all of us alike. And for all of us in social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So, let's hop right to it right now. Square has been a great trade all day. I mean, short, I guess, after the open. And I say I guess because coming off of good news early, I was looking for the bounce at least, if anything. My whole chart here is marked up, so pardon that as well. But, you could see it was trending downward off the highs going into the open. So with that, it broke down right away instead of the pop and drop, but ended up tailing off down to 75. And that's where I was initially expecting the bounce. So I ended up taking a small loss as it retested and broke back below 75. Then from there, I know it ended up making the bounce a little bit lower, basically off 74. I was in on another trade at that time, Beyond Meat. We'll talk about that in just a moment as well. But from there, ended up making a nice move off of 75 later on into the morning, ended up breaking back above 75, running up beautifully from there. And then even going into the mid-afternoon just before, the stock ended up breaking back above resistance off of 77. It was a retest. So at that point, it was actually a critical long. It was a really good trade to take as a long right here. Ended up holding it as support, running up above the opening print. Well, at that point, I thought it was going to hit 78. So I was looking for that. And as it was kind of tailing off here, I was thinking, it just doesn't seem like it wants to do it. So I ended up jumping ship. It was like building a tiny microscopic Fausto flag, and I got out as soon as it broke under it. Right back down it went. So that was actually a pretty good short afterwards from the opening print, Mike. I saw Mike make a great post in the chat board as well, coming off the opening print. So you could at least see here, above, failed to run up higher. As soon as it broke back through this level on the way down, led to a pretty good short. Nice tradable stock all around. The only complaint is just that it's pretty expensive. So, I'm not really too particular about a more expensive stock. Probably won't look to trade this Monday. For the afternoon today, I'm not super keen on following it just yet. I mean, it was more from the after hours yesterday into the morning so far, but maybe I'll come back to it. Not a bad stock, at least for a more expensive stock. It does have some pretty good liquidity. All right. So the one otherwise that I was on is this ended up making the bounce I was originally looking for. It was the Beyond Meat trade. This one ended up popping as soon as the market opened up, and then from that point ended up running. So broke over 21, broke over 22, and then from there flew higher. So I mean, pretty similar to the Square trade. I was looking for the retest, re-break, and then it ran. So ended up doing it right off of 21. And it was shaking around there for a little bit, but pretty much right when Square was bouncing right around 9:45, 9:50 in the morning. Ended up retesting pop, and from there led to, I don't want to call it easy, but it was pretty straightforward in terms of time. We had a lot of time left, at least until that 10:15, 10:30 reversal hour. So, it gives you a good chance to hope for that big move. And you're not just hoping, you're applying pretty critical strategy to that, and led to a nice trade, right? Ran up towards 23, got close. Now, here's the issue, right? I mean, in terms of reversal time, this ended up peaking right there. Led to a great trade from the level we called out, 21. But man, this just gave out afterwards. Even heading into the mid-morning, you were looking for the better run up higher into the afternoon. I was on a coaching call with one of my students, and it was kind of coming to the question of like, hey, at 11:30 in the morning, where do you see the stock at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon? Do you expect to see it higher? Well, by 10:30, 10:45 in the morning, I expected it to be higher by that time of the day, by that 12:30, 1 o'clock or whatnot. So that's where we were looking for higher lows. We were looking for a move back up. I think it was right off of 21.25. I had called out in the chat board. It was right here, actually. Led to a nice pop and, hold off support, but then failed, just ran out of steam. And man, this thing fell flat afterwards, or fell on its face after, really. Ended up just completely re-breaking back below that 26-cent price, and then all the way down. I mean, this is pretty close to a complete gap fill at this point, really, right? So it's not shortable. It's hard to borrow. We're not going to, follow this for the afternoon, but nice trade from the morning at least, right? I mean, it was a pretty good trend during prime time trading. All right, a stock that I don't think that we'll be following either at this point. May as well go from the top here now, but the Bear trade, BAER, ended up making a good move in pre-market. It was on kind of thin volume at first, so I was pretty reluctant on jumping in on this in pre-market, but it led to a great move. From that point, though, afterwards, after the market opened up, it got halted on the way up, it got halted on the way down, and that was a wrap. I mean, really, look, ended up getting halted on the way up, ended up popping up, got halted at 931 right out the gate, reopened up at 936, got halted on the way down, and that was a wrap. Game over. So, yeah, we're done with this trade here. We're going to pass on it. Got a few different cheapies here. I'm not going to really look to trade those. Timber. No, I mean, Timber ended up making a nice little push earlier this morning. Higher lows. Built up pretty nicely up towards the top there off of 290-ish there. But again, really, really sharp drop off. Pop. And then when it pulled back, I jumped in this at first right off 291. And as soon as I jumped in, I kind of like did a double take. I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's gonna pop all the way back up there. I got out same price, in and out same price, and then I missed it here. But there was nothing really to miss. Ended up just making a second win type of move, if anything, and then just got crushed. So now at this point, we're not going to follow this trade, the Timber. Maybe in the afternoon by like 3:15, 3:30, if nothing from the list will be putting out moves, then we'll call it. But not looking too good right now here. CING, same thing. If you're looking for a bounce, you've been looking for it all throughout the morning. So I don't want to have you keep waiting for that bounce if it's not going to happen, right? I mean, 150, there could be a support level, so to say, but you got Bitcoin dropping off right now. You got the S&P making a distinct lower high here. Doesn't seem like it's going to fill that gap right now, or at least just yet. All right. I mean, hey, there could be some, gems here on the gainer side, so we'll kind of just see what else is out here. EOSE. This has been like a nice little trade over the last week and a half. We called it out on and off. So it's seemingly pushing back up towards the highs right now. As far as an intraday pattern, higher lows building up to the high of the day, it's right where we want it. The only issue on the stock is that it's been so like lackluster. It's been, even on its good days, even on this green day here, it didn't really make like a great move, more of a choppier run up. So hopefully heading into the end of the trading week here, we could have a nice squeeze up higher, a little bit faster move. All right, what else we got here? Otherwise, we got SHIP. Not really trading a whole lot of volume. It's at the highs though, I guess. And that just about seems to be it from the gainers side here. Let me know if there's anything else looking good, just on the way up. I'll hop over to the loser side right now. This SLS is getting crushed. I don't know what happened to this thing. Got smashed in the after hours from 380 down to basically 250, then lower early in pre-market. I didn't even see this. Yeah, I mean, I guess we missed out on the short early in pre-market, but otherwise it was pretty flat after. Could it be a dead cat bounce? Maybe, but has to start busting and move pretty soon. I mean, maybe for now, I'll slip it on our main list because we don't have much on there for just yet, and it's down enough for us to at least think about the dead cat bounce if it's going to hold over 165 here. FULC, not much happening on that. We'll pass. NKTR, a little too close to the ground floor there for my liking. Not like the ground floor on the 1 minute chart. I'm talking like ground floor. Not really a fan of shorting a stock that's like, $1.50 stock. Not really much upside there. All right, folks, let me know if there's anything else that I missed altogether. I think I missed out on LAZR, Laser. That was one from earlier. Leda, you called that out earlier. Nice run from before. It's up over 6%, year 7. It's holding here for right now. I would rather see it make a sharper pop now, or at least even before this point. But not a big list just yet. I don't mind at least putting this on our list in terms of hope. Boyle from Scott ETF, and it is up over 7.5%. Very liquid, making a more of an afternoon pop here. So yeah, I'll put a little shine on this one. Now again, if you have Bookmap, then perfect. Then it gives you a good chance to follow the order flow a lot better. If you have a different strategy that you are very good with and you have a high strike rate with, then perfect. If neither of those apply to you, then I would focus on stocks, not this ETF, right? But obviously, Scott, I'm not talking to Scott there. I'm talking to everyone alike. So, good call. Good call. I like it. DNMR, not a whole lot happening there, Ravina. UVXY, getting back to this in terms of seeing the market make a bit of a higher low. Perhaps this could run up higher into the close, but in terms of the ETFs, if anything, this looks a lot more active. Rather, Boyle. All right, so let me know if there's anything else, though. Otherwise, for all of us on our streams right now, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. May as well type my email address in here early. Just post it right now. Any questions or thoughts you folks have, feel free to shoot me a quick email over the weekend. Josh@ctutrading.com. That's my handle. All right, going to check Benzinga Pro, then we'll wrap up. I mean, it would be nice to see the market squeeze up higher into the close, fill the gap potentially, but we'll see. Checking out on a couple stocks from Benzinga. IBIO, not a whole lot happening just yet on that one. Going back to that DNMR, yeah, it's flat right now. All right, I'll tell you, for Friday, we don't need to make a big list anyway. We have 5 stocks on there, so pretty good list for right now. All right. For all of us collectively on our streams or inside the live trading room, enjoy the weekend. For all of us inside the live trading room, I'll be in the trading room in the chat board at least up until 3:30. Then I'm at the beach. But otherwise, enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch back with everyone coming up on Monday of next week. All right. Take care.